Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Brian. I have a 2008 VW GTI in the driveway. Getting some other work done to it while it's up in the air and on jack stands. We're going to go ahead and replace the lower motor mounts. These two motor mounts live in the subframe. And that's what connects this, well, I guess what they call a dog bone motor mount to the subframe. So these sit in the subframe, and then the engine mounts to here, and that's what kind of controls thrust. Years ago, I put an insert in there to try to control some of that. This car is also a manual transmission, so it's a little more susceptible. But they're finally getting to where I need to replace them. And to do that, you either have a special tool that you can press those in and out, or you take the subframe out and go to a press and press them. So we're going to do the latter. We're going to go ahead and take the subframe out, and I'll take it to my place of employment, and I can use the press there and press them in and out. So first we need to get this subframe out. So we're up under the car. This is what I'm talking about. This is the dog bone where it attaches to the engine, subframe, only subframe bolts. So first of all, I guess we can go ahead and disconnect the dog bone mount from the subframe. In this particular case, this is a 21. So I did a video years ago where I did the other motor mounts in this car, and instead of dealing with this problem at that time, I just put this insert in here. So this is an insert that's designed to go in the voids and kind of take up some of that squish, and I don't think I ended up with the right one, so I had to cut it to make it fit. And of course everybody on the internet had to comment about how I effed this up. So anyway, that's the backstory on that one. Up here, these appear to be 16 millimeters. And then that mount will come out. We'll look at this out of the car, but it's pretty squishy and nasty. So now there's a series of 16s. Let's go ahead, and we have 16 socket on here. We'll knock those out. So I've read that some of these can break off. So I'm gonna go kind of extra careful on these to get them broken loose. I'm sure these are all one-time use bolts, so be sure to get new bolts when you put this back together. So they're loose now. Now we'll move on to the 13s. There's a couple of those on each side. And we have some 18s, I think. Let's see. And then before I go too far, back here on the back, this exhaust bracket attaches, and I'm pretty sure those are 13s. So now it's everything's cracked loose. We don't think it's going to break off. I can buzz these out. while we're here, we'll knock out the 16s. Then we're left with 18s. Now that's an interesting bolt. And I'm not sure why they're all full of water, but looks like we've broken it loose. So this is kind of fun now that this is out of the car. There's some leaves in here. That is the fuel pump follower that I replaced in an earlier video for the high pressure fuel pump that wore through. I wonder where that went. And apparently at some point I lost a spark plug down here too. So there we go. Right there is the little motor mount, like little insert that I put in there a couple years ago, which is completely stuck now. Not sure how well that'll show up. That thing is really squishy. So that insert was supposed to fill this void and it would push all the way up through. But I had apparently the wrong one, because I could only get it through a portion of it. So I cut some of it off, and that's when the internet in the comments lost their minds. So yeah, I could only get it halfway through. I couldn't get it all the way up. Maybe it was already so wasted there anyway. So you can see it's torn right there. That thing's pretty squishy. So I might as well try to get these out. Take a Sawzall blade and try to split this plastic piece and see if we can pry it out of there. So there, just cut that sort of little piece there, cut into that a little bit, but it's not much. Now we might be able just to knock this one out the back. So there we go. That's out of there, and you can see how squishy that is and where they're both split. Say it was definitely time. I'm at work and forgot my camera, so I will use my phone for this. Cleaned up this subframe. Kind of made some marks where it needs to line up. Set it up here in the press. Go ahead and put this piece of solid on top just to have something to push against. This mount is slightly tapered, so I'm hoping it'll just go in straight. It won't do that. Sanded the edge a little bit. Kind of give it a ramp to start. Now it looks like that's going to be the problem. This wants to bulge out. This might be a little medieval. So there's my short-term solution. Put a hose clamp around it. Push down through a little bit. Now I hope I can take this clamp off And this thing doesn't shoot up out of here. Which it is. All right, now for the other one. It's like it's doing the same thing. Sometimes you just have to get a little creative. See if I can get that piece to jam down in there enough to start. So sometimes the trick is just finding something the right diameter to push with. It's not beautiful. Maybe I can press a little more on that edge, but this was just a 3-inch pipe coupling that I had to turn down for some reason to make into a press tool. So now it's a permanent press tool. So got this all pressed in. This dog bone mount actually fits in the hole, but the problem we're going to have is this bolt fits through this hole, but both of these mounts are the same and they're both threaded. So we want this one to be threaded. We don't really care if this one's threaded, other than the bolt that I have is not threaded all the way. So on this portion of it, which is where the bolt goes in from the bottom of the car, we need to eliminate the threads in this first mount because they're both the same part number. Not sure how that happened. So we needed to clear the shank of this bolt, which is about 540 thousandths. The biggest drill bit I have is 1/2 inch, so I need to kind of wallow around 40 thousandths worth of clearance to take the threads out of there. Okay, that should work. Hopefully you have the right parts and you don't have to do this. I got this started up in the car. I'm gonna go ahead and run it up anyway. I'm probably supposed to use new bolts for all these, but we're gonna pretend that's the case. There's a combination of 16s, 13s, etc. So these two 13s right here actually look like they hold your sway bar mount. So they've kind of got to go up through and catch something else. I have applied some anti-seize to these, which I'm sure is against somebody's rules also, but that's what we're rolling with today. There are these 13s in the back for the exhaust. For the whole reason, let's get this motor mount in here. It has this really long bolt. Another 16. And the shorter one. This one that goes up through into the subframe mount. All right, I believe that's it. I'm sure there's a torque spec, a degree angle, and all that. But in this case, for my car, we're gonna call it good enough. So all these newfangled cars have these torque to yield bolts, which, I mean, in a subframe, I don't think it's gonna fall off. But in this instance, this one has these weird shouldered bolts. I don't know what you call them exactly. Not sure why they did it like this. Maybe for alignment specs. But it had these. And I kind of feel like if I torque that to the spec, I don't want to break it off. So in this instance, I went ahead and did get new ones. So we'll go ahead and torque these to the proper spec. So the specs I've found on the internet, because it's always right, are 52 foot-pounds. Let's go the right direction. So there's 52 plus 90 degrees. So we'll get, that's about 90. Okay, so there's the torque. Let's do the 90 degrees. All right, there we go. So that dog bow mount, I would say that thing was definitely trashed. And I'm sure the ones in the subframe didn't help. So we'll take it for a drive, test it out, see how it works. Thanks for watching. See you next time.